The Police Synchronicity, right now on States and Kingdoms. Welcome back to States and Kingdoms. Today we're talking about The Police and their final album, Synchronicity, from 1983.
That's right, Jenna.
Thoughts?
I rather like this album.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And when we talked about Ghost in the Machine, whenever that was,
Decades ago.
we mentioned, I think, that in some ways this album seems like it should follow Zenyatta Mandata. I mean, it is, in some respects, closer. This album is interesting because it does feel like it follows Zenyatta Mandata. How many times do I have to say that?
Zenyatta Frittata.
Better than Ghost in the Machine, but at the same time, it feels like a Sting solo record in certain ways. Like, this is, songwriting-wise,
he's already on his way to
he's moving on, and but you do hear Andy and Stuart,
right, Little Stu, very
much on the record. It's a really interesting record.
Yeah, I think I like this one first. Of all the Police albums, I got into this, pretty seriously, and
such huge hits off of
it. There's a couple of songs that I love, and I think it's got a great sound. Just all in all, it's got a really robust sound.
All the Police records are produced extremely well. Yeah. They all sound really good.
This one just has, especially the first side of the album, it's just really rocking songs. They're really kind of driving, forceful songs.
It almost feels like it. The first side was Synchronicity 1 and 2.
Right.
Almost feels like the Police's Prague album.
Yeah.
There is almost a Yes sound to those songs, especially the first one.
Yeah, and I like the first side of the record is so orderly in its way because it's got it's bookends. It's got Synchronicity and then Synchronicity 2, and everything in between. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the first side has a different feel from the second side for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so Synchronicity 1, like we said, it's a very unusual Police song. I mean, this is, from the very beginning, this album is quite different. And it's incredibly well produced, but you do notice immediately, I mean, there isn't really guitar on that one, but it's still sparser than Ghost in the Machine, which I like. Although I was thinking before, the Police are one band, there are some, my opinions or taste or whatever is kind of set, with other groups. I'm never gonna get tired of Asia. I'm not gonna prefer Can't Buy a Thrill to Asia.
Yeah.
Or or dislike but with the Police, it definitely is more fluid than that. I feel like I'll listen to Ghost of the Machine and sometimes it's too busy. I can't hear the guitar. I want to hear the guitar, but then you'll put it on and boy, that was great.
I know.
That was really great. Man, what a great album. I love that album. So if the Police they're strange. I really enjoy the albums, but I can't pick favorites or anything. I do like this album though.
Yeah, I think for us there's other factors that maybe impinge on listening to the Police sometimes, or saying that you really like the Police. This is personal. Let's get personal for a second. We grew up with more Sting.
Yeah.
Than the Police because they're basically already done when we were listening to music.
Basically, they were done.
They were. You weren't alive.
Right.
Let's not get too personal, okay?
No.
But we knew a lot of Sting solo songs. There's a lot of Sting hits on the radio when we were sentient.
And let me get even more personal.
Okay.
I didn't like Sting.
Right.
And that actually colored some of
That's my point. Yeah, that's my point.
Well, let me get even more personal than that. I taught him all about tantric yoga.
I do like a lot of Sting solo songs, and I did actually see him in concert one time.
No, it was Sting. He wrote some really great songs. It's just not really my taste.
I like Police albums better than Sting solo albums.
Yeah.
Although I do like some songs.
Well, primarily because Andy Summers.
Right.
For me.
Yeah.
It's why that's why Ghost of the Machine kind of fluctuates. The guitar really isn't present enough, and that's one thing on this that it is there. It does sound like a group effort.
Yeah, it sounds like a band. It's really full-bodied band.
And if you know, and that's well. Anyway, let's so.
Let's talk more about the songs.
Yeah.
Mother.
No, I know. I knew you were gonna do that. So the first two songs, though, the guitar really isn't very present. I mean, they're both very rhythmic. There's synth. There's there's sequencer on "Walking in My Footsteps," and we were saying before, we both really like that song, and
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why, because a lot of times songs like that, it's a good melody. It definitely is. The world music thing, again, because of when we grew up, that was...
Yeah.
I was burnt out on that, unless it was like Chaos AD.
Right.
I really wasn't...
It's like a prehistoric love song. You expect to hear this when you're walking through the Natural History Museum.
Yeah. Walking
in your
footsteps. What's a footstep? Footstep. Anyway,
it's repetitive, but it's something about it keeps your interest more than like stop trying to talk while I'm talking. I'm just gonna... There are definitely other Police songs that I think are actually repetitive, and I don't have a problem skipping them. I wouldn't skip this song. I like it.
No, it is a really good song. And then Oh My God, which it feels, in a way, it's like the first sort of Police song on the album. I mean,
it's got like a canary in a coal mine sort of feel to it.
Oh My God is a really good song. And then Miss Gradenko.
Oh, I think you skipped one.
You know, honestly, Mother doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It's just, it is for a band that was, this was a number one in England and America. They were just becoming bigger and bigger. That is one strange song, and it might be the strangest song ever put on.
Yeah.
And like from a band like this on an album this successful.
Kind of wish it was like the secret song at the end.
Well, maybe.
Or just not there at all.
Think, you know the Carl Reiner movie, Where's Papa?
Yeah.
It just makes me think of that, and that's not really a good thing.
No.
But no, it's. I don't mind. It's just funny that if Sting didn't like.
Oh yeah, Mega Man. What was it? Megatron.
It? Oh, Omega Man.
Omega Man.
That's not what it. No, I got Mega Man. You said Mega Man. But if he didn't like any of
the past
Andy's former songs and wanted to bury the tapes, what did he want to do with this?
Right. Well, I always wondered if Sting had sung it, if it would have changed the flavor a little bit.
Well, he probably should have, but he probably didn't want to.
Right.
He was walking in his own footsteps. Anyway, Miss Gradenko actually.
Miss Gradenko, I've always loved. I don't know what it is.
Stuart Copeland's song.
Yeah, I think it's such a great, compact, zippy song. It's got a great melody, and I love the rhythm of it. Mm-hmm. I love the part, where like the drum and the bass kind of like they like sync up for a second, and
it always sounded like a '60s Who melody, but it is a really cool song for being really quite short.
I love it.
Just very catchy.
I've always loved it. It's like my favorite song.
I like Stuart Copeland songs on the Police records. I think they're really good.
Well, yeah.
I like Andy Summer songs.
Yeah, when you have more people writing, it just keeps things, diverse.
Because there's no question Sting was over. He was crowding them out with his songs. I mean, he was always the primary songwriter. I mean, that was not in dispute. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like, I guess you can hear, like, this album is cohesive. It holds together, but you can still hear, Sting's style is moving this way, and they're not necessarily.
Right. Yeah, he's going to leave them behind.
Maybe Mother is about Sting. Maybe that's what it is.
Probably.
Maybe Miss Gradenko. Maybe he's Miss Gradenko, too.
Probably.
They're just writing about him.
They hate him.
Is anybody alive in here? Nobody but Sting. You stink. No, but... Anyway, Synchronicity 2 is also a great song. Actually, it is I really like that song. It's pretty straightforward rock kind of song. Certainly, this album doesn't have as much of a reggae-ishness to it. Certainly the first side.
Right. Yeah, Synchronicity 2 is just like a it's like a big song.
Yeah.
You know, I always just thought it was awesome.
And that's where the production, I always think, this song sounds great.
You Padawan.
Really, Padawan. Just really, really great sound. And, side 2, I always kind of expect side 2 to be Synchronicity too, to start that way, but it makes sense that it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a really nice chunk of songs on the first side.
So on Every Breath You Take.
Yeah. Nobody likes this song. No one's heard it.
This is one of those songs that radio tried to ruin for me.
Very
radio and
hit.
Everything else.
Very big hit.
So I always I back away from it, but trying to just listen to it.
It's a good song.
It is really good. I just don't. It doesn't. I don't like some of the things people have said. It's about it. It's a love song.
Yeah.
And all that can mean.
Well,
it doesn't mean it's about surveillance or
the whole revisionist. Now we're gonna look at song
voyeurism.
meanings from a weird newer perspective.
And everything has
it's
to
unnecessary.
Everything's creepy now. It's not. I don't.
It's not creepy.
No one thought that then, or if you did, you were creepy.
It's passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sting does that in the video.
Right.
Or
That is creepy. No, but it is a great song.
It is a good
the
song.
guitar part is classic. It is a great song. Interesting choice to open side 2. And that's all I'll say about that.
Side 2 is very song, 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 song. It's more so is the first side, but I don't know, something about the synchronicities.
It's different. There is a difference.
Feel.
It does. It really does. It's not that it feels more just like Sting. It definitely feels like the Police. They're all there. They're all audible.
Right.
But yeah, it does have a different feel. So it opens with that a very Polician ballad.
Right. There's a kind of a, not exactly a theme, but there's a mood to the second side, whereas every song is a little bit of a lumbering sort of.
Sting was writing a lot of songs that do kind of share subjects, somewhat.
Yeah. So King of Pain is kind of not gloomy, but it's kind of serious. And so it's got a kind of serious weight to it.
It's really I don't know how to explain.
I like King of Pain.
Yeah.
Every
song, the songs on side 2 are very catchy. They're not. They have a great rhythm, but they're not dancey. They're definitely about more serious things, or at least somewhat more substantive, somewhat more profound things to Sting. There's a mood to them that is fairly. It's definitely unique among the Police songs.
Yeah.
They're
your egg. And then wrapped around your finger feels very close to Every Breath You Take. I don't know, something about those two songs, they kind of go together.
I really like that song. It's a great melody. That's a really great song. And that's why this album is really enjoyable, because late in the album, you still have you have
really good songs,
a great song, and you really kind of look forward to it.
Tea in the Sahara, I've always loved. It's along with Miss Grodenko, it's one of my favorites on this album. I think it's just got a great, it's got a narrative, Sheltering Sky. It's got a very eerie sort of, again, mood. It really kind of sets this tone.
Mm-hmm. It's got a space to it, like the desert.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It definitely conveys that. It's really good.
And I think it's got a great sound. I think it's a really, really good song. Great melody, and I like the openness of it and the open moodiness of it.
It really is. It's a really great album. The whole band is playing together. It's cohesive. Great songs from Sting. A really interesting one from Andy Summers.
I listened to this album on CD, for a very long time initially. So I'm used to the album closing with Murder by Numbers, which I always liked. And I also thought it kind of balanced out the heaviness of Tea in the Sahara. And it's kind of, you get a little bit of a lighter song take you out of the album. I thought it worked really well. So yeah, it's interesting, the vinyl ending with Tea in the Sahara.
Yeah.
There's never been a band like the Police where just like every album got more successful, more. I mean, they just had this very brief like, and then over.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very interesting. But I like this album a lot, and please let us know what you think of this album in the comments. Please consider subscribing to States and Kingdoms. Make sure to like this video, and stay tuned here for more videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll see you next time.